Hello and welcome back. In this episode we're going to be taking a look at the chip widget, which allows you to display an action, text, entity or attribute in a compact fashion. You'll notice our homepage contains a scaffold and an app bar, and in the body of the scaffold we're going to create a chip. You'll notice by the squiggly line there in our IDE, the parameter label is required. So we can specify a label, which will be a text widget, with just placeholder text for the purposes of this demonstration. You'll notice there we now have the chip displayed in the application, and you'll notice that there are a number of parameters that you can specify to customize the chip widget. For example, we take a look first at the avatar parameter, which allows you to specify an avatar for the chip. We create a circle avatar, like so, and we give it a child of text, and simply put some initials, like so. You'll notice that we then have the circle avatar applied to the left-hand side of the label inside the chip widget. This is a common format, for example, to display a contact. You might have their initials in a circle avatar and their name as the text of the chip widget. You can also specify the label style, which is the text style applied to the label of the chip. You can also customize the padding of the label. But we'll take a look next at the delete icon and the onDeleted callback function. Now by default, the onDeleted callback function is set to null, which means that it's not possible to delete the chip. However, if you specify a callback to the onDeleted parameter that is not null, as you can see there, in this case an empty function, you'll notice that we get a deleted icon button added to the right hand side of the chip. If the user was to click on this delete button, then it will call the onDeleted callback function. So for example, you could insert some logic into this callback function to delete this particular contact, for example, and then remove the chip from the screen. You can customize the deleted icon. For example, by default it's that cross in a circle. However, you can specify any icon in its place. For example, we could use the delete icon, and you'll notice there that the cross in a circle changes to that trash icon on the right hand side of the chip. You'll notice, however, even if you specify a delete icon, as soon as you change the onDeleted callback function to null, it will remove any icon that's specified, whether that's the default icon or an icon that you've specified yourself. You'll also notice that you can change the icon color of the delete icon, and you can also change the tooltip message that's displayed when the user long presses on the button on mobile or hovers over the button on a desktop. You can change the shape of the chip, the clip behavior, the focus node to control whether or not the chip is focused in a list of chips. You can specify whether the chip should be automatically focused when it's brought into view. You can change the background color of the chip. For example, specifying a background color of red, you'll notice the chip becomes red in color. Removing that reverts the chip back to its default color, matching the application's theme. You can also change the padding applied to the chip. You can change its visual density, the material tap target size, the elevation of the chip, and the shadow color. We'll take a look at the elevation and shadow color now. Specifying an elevation of 10, for example, you'll notice how we have a shadow applied around the chip, giving the chip some elevation. You can customize that shadow color by specifying the shadow color parameter. If we have a shadow color of red, for example, you'll notice that the shadow around the chip is red in color. As I say, you can play around with that elevation value to match your particular requirements. An elevation of 2 there, still with the red shadow applied modifying the elevation and shadow around the chip widget. As I say, you can play around with the elevation to suit your requirements, however it defaults to an elevation of 0. As you can see there, the chip being flat on the page with no elevation. Essentially then, the chip allows you to display text, an attribute or an entity for example, in a compact manner in your application, commonly used to display perhaps tags or contacts, with an optional delete button allowing you to delete said attribute and remove the chip from the application. I hope you found this useful. Thank you very much for watching.